Hello, welcome back to Fallout 4. We're continuing Creation Club updates with the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. We start this quest by traveling to Police Precinct 8. Pretty sure this is the place anyway. Hello. We're off to a great start so far. Shrouded Manor. Investigate the terminals at Police Precinct 8. Organized crime was a major problem in the city prior to the Great War, with many syndicates amassing large fortunes through racketeering, extortion, and murder. Given the value of such loot, it would be a good idea to head to some of the precincts downtown and see what information I can find. I already searched this building when doing X quest. So is this a new terminal, or maybe I just missed it before? Precinct 8 terminal. Accessing secure network connection lost 62577. From Lieutenant Mitchell to Sergeant Callahan, subject Trevizzani. As you know, we've been trying to pin something on Louis Trevizzani for a long time. He claims he's this wealthy purveyor of silver shroud collectibles, even going so far as to call his estate Shroud Manor. We've suspected for years it's a front, but we haven't been able to make anything stick. Then the other day we got a lead from the detectives working that missing carpenter's case. You know the 3 workers who disappeared without a trace? We put their mugs all over the news, hoping someone would recognize them. Well, it turns out that an eyewitness saw them walking into a house a few weeks before they vanished, Trevizzani's house. Thing is, if we want to pin this on him, we're going to need something a little more solid than a half-blind Irish lady walking her dogs. Cambridge PD wants to run an undercover op. We might be able to learn more about what happened to those carpenters if we had somebody on the inside. Problem is, half the cops in Cambridge Trevizzani wants dead and the other half are on his payroll. If we're going to do this, we need somebody outside the department, somebody clean. 7177. From Lieutenant Mitchell to Sergeant Callahan, subject Officer Isola. I looked over your recommendations. She's a little green, but I think Officer Isola is the right choice. Graduated top of her class, grew up in a tough neighborhood. For her to make it out of that godforsaken heck hole means she's got bigger balls than anyone on the force. Take her off the beat and set up a meeting with her tomorrow. We don't want anyone seeing her in uniform. 71577. From Lieutenant Mitchell to Sergeant Callahan, subject cover story. There's a bit of a complication with the carpenter investigation all over the news. Trevizzani's turned completely paranoid, which means he's not taking on any new crew members. I'm intrigued, though, by your earlier suggestion that Officer Isola played to the man's baser instincts, which might work if we make it seem like the whole relationship was his idea. One of the directors at Hubris owes me a favor. Let's hold an open audition for extras and invite Trevizzani over for a look-see. If he's really such a big fan of the show, he'll be happy to get a peek behind the curtain. 814. From Lieutenant Mitchell to Sergeant Callahan, subject she's in. My man at Hubris says the whole fake audition worked like a charm. It's going to take some time to reel him in, but at least he took the bait. The aspiring actress bit will help us with meets too. We set her up with a job at the Warren Theater on Saturday nights, doing plays so boring there isn't a chance in heck Trevizzani will show up, especially because he thinks she's an idiot. Watching her stumble through the classics would just embarrass him. When the show's over, head on over to the dressing room. It's a fancy joint, but you don't want to stand out, so maybe wear that cheap tan suit you love so much. Use the key I sent you to open the drawer in the corner where the actors powder their face and leave their cigarettes. As for your girl, she's got guts. Just the thought of cozying up to that greasy jerk makes me want to vomit. But I hear she played the whole thing cool. Even had this cute little shtick about waiting until marriage, and it only made him more obsessed. She's a little naive, though, if she thinks a man like that is going to wait forever. But that's not our concern. Our job is to get dirt on Trevizzani, whatever it takes. If it means throwing a rookie cop to the wolves, so be it.
Let's see what we've got.
Warren Theater key.
Found the good stuff. Take a look.
Open the backstage dresser at the Warren Theater. After reading A Terminal at Police Precinct 8, I've learned about an undercover operation involving a crime boss near Cambridge. The undercover officer met with her superiors at the Warren Theater. I should head over there and see where the trail leads. Skip here. I should have gone to the Boylston Club. Here it is. Hopefully they don't follow us in here. I don't think I've been to this place before. So I want to get a good look around. That looks like bloody water. Elevator. Oh, sorry, Kate. What a quaint little theater. Oh, sorry about that. Not much of a dressing area. What was that? Silver dress. That isn't unique, is it? Maybe it is. I'll take it. Officer Isola's note. I think one of Trevizzani's goons followed me here, so I'm gonna keep this short. I'll try and come back next week, but if you don't hear from me then, I've left a spare key to the manor in this dresser. Other than that, I've got nothing else to report. I found a passage behind a bookcase that leads to Suiza's office, but the vault's locked. Whatever's inside has got to have what you're looking for, coupled with the stuff he's recorded on his holotapes. You should have more than enough to put him away. I know Lieutenant Mitchell wants something more tangible before you move in, but you've got to pull me out now. With everything that's gone down, Trevizzani's getting more and more agitated, and at some point he's going to call me on my bullcrap. After reading A Terminal at Police Precinct 8, I've learned about an undercover operation involving a crime boss near Cambridge. The undercover officer met with her superiors at the Warren Theater. At the theater, I found a key to a place called Shrouded Manor, as well as a note.
Who's there? Take it low. Fine.
Triggerman. What are you guys doing here? Dying! That's what! You'll never hit me from behind this curtain. I don't want to waste ammo on you people. Cute.
Just get warmed up.
Search the Triggerman's corpse. Shrouded Manor terminal password. Triggerman's note. Sounds like there might be more downstairs. Every week we stop by the theater to see if anyone will show up. It's a waste of effing time. Ain't no one but us left. If we find this capo, maybe it'll get the boss to leave the gosh darn vault. Staring at those screens all day has become a effing obsession. Kate made it downstairs somehow. Come on, Kate, you can make them. Right. Afterwards, I was attacked by a group of gangsters and found a terminal password on one of their corpses. Enter Shrouded Manor. I've already discovered it. Where's Kate? Yeah. Oh, there you are. Find and eliminate the boss. So every day I open a bookcase.
Now this is what I'm talking about. You know how to show a girl.
Thought I heard a ghoul voice. How convenient that I have markers showing me where to go. I was afraid of that. Lore! Must have the lore. 52377. From Alfonso Vencini to Tony Suiza, subject the boss. It's been a week now since the attempt on the boss, and everyone is still nervous about how the heck someone just walked in here and sprayed the joint with bullets. We were lucky that the boss only took a slug in the arm. We could have lost him. It's got to be the Michelli gang behind it. Old man Michelli still blames the boss for the cops blowing away his son on that bank job that he and the boss pulled. The boss is still as jumpy as heck, pulled his gun and started shooting up the room when someone slammed a door. He is talking about making some bolt holes in the house. Places where we can make a quick exit to when things go to heck. He sent Marco out to find someone to do the building work. Just stay on your toes, there could be another attempt. 922. From Alfonso Vencini to Tony Suiza. Raid. The cops are here, and they're searching the joint, so stay put down there. The boys and I made it into the attic just in time, and the boss made it into his office with Vinny and Marco. That was real smart of the boss to make these secret passages. He says we all stay put. Don't make any noise, and we should use these terminals to talk to each other. Those dumb cops don't have a clue that we're all standing here inside the walls. I heard them talking about looking for some kind of evidence that those carpenters were here. I was trying to listen for more when Jimmy started coughing, the dumb palooka. Almost gave the game away to the copper standing nearby. I had to put a gun to his head to shut him up. Heads are gonna roll for this. Who the heck tipped the cops off about the carpenters? 926. From Alfonso Vencini to Tony Suiza, Candy. The boss is still mad as heck. He wants to know who tipped off the police about the carpenters. Says that he's sure it's one of the boys and that he's going to find the rat who did it. I don't think it was one of us. I've been watching the boss news squeeze Candy since she came on the scene, and something about that broad doesn't add up. She plays the dumb dame, but I don't think she's as dumb as she looks. Maybe she tipped off the police. Heck, maybe she's even a cop herself. But I ain't stupid enough to tell the boss what I think. He's dizzy for the dame, and with gams like that, who can blame him? But no broad is worth the risk, so I'll be watching her every move. 1016. From Alfonso to Tony, Candy's show. Tonight, Candy went to one of her gigs over at the Warren. Since the boss has no taste for it, I decided to follow her and take in a show. Figured it was good for a laugh, if nothing else. Funny thing is, she never went up on stage. The dame just stayed in the back, powdering her face. Listen to me, Tony. You know I got a good read on crap like this, and something wasn't right about the whole thing. 1020. Alfonso to Tony, frickin' weak. Things are heating up over those missing carpenters. It's now all over the news that the cops sent divers into the river and found the van with the bodies. There's no way that they could have known to look there unless one of our own snitched. I know he ain't here now, but the boss told me to tell you to put the screws on those men you got working down there. Tell them straight that if they don't keep their traps shut, their families will be bumped off. Maybe give them some hush money as further security. Speaking of which, is it true the boss went into that vault with Candy to propose, and they ain't coming out for a week? This ain't the time or the place for a gosh darn wedding, let alone a honeymoon. But at least if she's locked in there, she can't do any more harm. Honestly, we've had nothing but trouble since that broad arrived. Broad. Show the Manor terminal password.
Would ya?
Why is there Institute looking tech in here? Candy holotape. 8/21/77. When I was a kid, I used to pretend I was the Silver Shroud. I had a hat, a squirt gun I called the Silver Sidearm, and a jacket from my uncle's closet that was 3 sizes too big. I'd go out into the schoolyard, tell the bullies their time was up, but it never quite worked out the way I wanted to. Life rarely does. I guess the same could be said for my career as police. I wanted to work myself up to detective, solving murders and putting the bad guys behind bars, yet here I am on the other side, working with the very men I swore to put away. On top of that, there's the mansion. Living here, surrounded by all this imagery, it feels frickin' surreal. That kid in the oversized jacket would have been thrilled to live in this house. The reality, of course, couldn't be more different. But however I got here, I'm still a cop, and I've got a job to do. I've managed to get Trevizzani to start using a holotape. My hope is that the fat frig will make my job easier by incriminating himself. 9/13. I've been trying for weeks to get Trevizzani to open up about the business, but he's been reluctant to mention what happened to the carpenter crew. On the other hand, it makes for a good excuse for why I won't sleep with him. If he won't budge, then neither will I. Of course, if he does budge, I might have a problem, but that's why God invented handcuffs. I might have more luck snooping around. I caught one of his goons blabbing to his friend about taking someone for a drive downriver. It's a long shot, but it might be worth mentioning to the Sarge next time I see him. 10/17. I left a note at the Warren and let my frustrations be known. I've given them the location of the bodies, information on Trevizzani's operation, and the existence of his secret vault. But Lieutenant Mitchell's still frustrated that the initial raid turned up nothing, and now he won't so much as scratch his balls unless I have Trevizzani confessing to the gosh darn Lindbergh kidnapping. Compared to busting jaywalkers and pushing papers, going undercover seemed like a big break, but this is way beyond what I signed up for. I'm starting to question whether the department truly has my back. Either way, I'm going to have to do something risky if I want out. 10/19. Trevizzani's dead. The irony is he was willing to tell me everything, but only after everything else. When I asked him flat out if he murdered those carpenters, he got rough. I got rougher. I'm not sure how I'm going to get out of this. There's a guard at the door at all times, so I can't get out. But I can't stay in either, because at some point I'm going to run out of food or his men are going to get suspicious. 10/31. It's hard to process just what happened last week. Even though it's on the monitors, I still can't believe it's real. Inside the house, everyone's dropping like flies. Trevizzani's gang, the help, everybody. Bless those carpenters. I don't know what materials they used to build these walls, but somehow it's keeping me alive. Pretty soon I'll be the only one left, which means I finally have a way out. But into what world, I don't even know. The way my skin's looking, I'm not sure I'll live long enough to see it. 8/15. It's been 30 years since I picked up this holotape. I'm not sure how much space is even left on this thing. First thing I did when I got out was head to the station. Dead or not, I was going to check in the evidence on Trevizzani, close the case, and maybe have a drink with Sergeant Callahan's corpse. I showed up in full uniform with a badge and a baton and everything, but no one was there. Then I opened up the sergeant's terminal. Big mistake. Turns out they didn't give a crap about my safety. They left me in this house of horrors to get raped, killed, who knows what. I guess I should be thanking them. If they pulled me out, I would have been blown to bits along with the rest of the world, but it still doesn't make it right. So I tossed my baton in a box and burned my uniform. From that day on, I was done being police. 10/23/77. 100 years since the bombs dropped, and I'm still alive. In fact, I've turned into quite the successful mob boss. Living in this house, it was only natural to use the resources it provided. I took the connections Trevizzani built through his fake comic book business, and found some were still alive and kicking. Together, we rebuilt the organization the same way he did, from small-time protection rackets to smuggling chems and deals with the mayor. Of course, in that world, I'm Candy, the old boss's main squeeze. Not that it's a lie. I've spent more time as Trevizzani's so-called mistress of mystery than I ever did as a cop. These days, I'm starting to feel nostalgic. If I'm still alive, I'm beginning to wonder who else survived. Case in point, the other day on the monitors, I saw someone that looked like Sergeant Callahan. The boys might think I'm crazy, but he had on that same cheap tan suit he always wore, with a ticket in his breast pocket. It was for the Warren Theater. After the war, the thing you tell survivors is to head back to old haunts. If you met your friends at a bar on Saturdays, go back to that same bar and see if your pals show up. Callahan is out there. Maybe he steps by the Warren every now and then for a drink. Maybe that ticket is his way of identifying himself to an old friend. If only he knew. A century is a long time to hold a grudge, but time was never a concern for him. Why should it be for me? So she sent Triggermen to the theater. Looking for Sergeant Callahan. Dear Lord.
Feeling nostalgic or something? Let's get some caps for that, I suppose.
Yeah, and it doesn't weigh anything. Unlike the gold, which I'll come back for. Though we've completed Shrouded the Manor. I've uncovered information that implies a mob boss was living at the Shroud Manor using his fandom as a cover. I entered the manor and found a bookcase leading to a secret passageway to a basement area with a vault. Inside the vault, I found the boss in her bathrobe and killed her. It seems at some point Candy, the undercover police officer, took over the operation. After clearing the area, I can now use the manor as a home. Let's just see. Bathroom. Wasn't anything else in here, was there? Let's head back upstairs. Dining area. Oh, there's a lot of doors. Kitchen. Laundry. Bathroom. Bedroom. Ah, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. Thought it might be a balcony or something. Quite the study. More opening bookcases. This must lead back downstairs. Or not. Holy crap, this place. Okay, here we go. That leads back downstairs. I just wanna... I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. Holy bathrooms. Bathrooms everywhere. Holy crap. open all these up. How many bathrooms is that now? It's a nice place. Whew, okay. Yeah, you can go up on the roof. Billiard room. Hi, Kate. Okay. I will definitely be looting this place on my own time. Okay. Make yourself at home, Kate. That was the way to get up on the roof. Here it is. I want to go back inside now. Okay. I want to read what's on that terminal in his office. There was another way to get downstairs, right? Right here. I was already here. That must be his office there. Did I go down those other stairs? It's so convoluted. It's not even that big of a house. I want to see where this leads. More terminals. Holy. Okay. Lore. Maybe. 9677 from Jake Ansell to Mark Richards. Look, you've only been here a week, so I'm going to clue you into how things work around here. You keep your head down, don't think, and don't ask questions. If you see or hear anything unusual, you didn't. Understand? Just do your job, get paid, and buy your wife and kids something real nice for Christmas. That way you stay out of trouble and the boss is happy. One more thing. When you go into the office downstairs, never, ever look at the vault. It makes them really nervous if any of us pay too much attention to the vault. Other than that, welcome. (9677) from Mark Richards to Jake Ansell. When I was headhunted, I thought it was a really good thing. But now I think that maybe I was blinded by the money offered. Yes, the money is good, really good. Twice what I was earning for designing posters for the war effort. But what we are doing here, designing counterfeit merchandise for the Silver Shroud brand, is completely illegal. When Mr. Suiza offered me the job, he didn't mention anything about this. He only said that I would be designing new posters for his merchandise, that I would need to keep the work I am doing a secret. Well, secrecy is normal in our line of work. We don't want other companies stealing our designs, so I didn't think anything of it. But now I am not sure that is what Mr. Suiza meant. Also, when Mr. Suiza bent forward to talk, his jacket fell open, and I swear that he was wearing a shoulder holster with a gun. Who carries a gun to work? I'm not sure about this anymore. Maybe I should talk to Mr. Suiza and tell him that I'm not comfortable breaking the law, and then try and get my old job back. I'm sure that worked out wonderfully for you. To the office. Once I get in my robot suit.
That's what I'm talking.
The office was where? Here? At least it looks like an office. I'm assuming I need to get out of this. Maybe I didn't. Messages. 61277. From R. Jameson and Sons Carpentry to L. Trevisani, subject work. Mr. Trevisani, we are just finishing up the last areas that need touching up, and we'll have completed the work by the end of tomorrow. As you requested, I have kept no official records of the work that we have completed for you, and only my 2 sons and I have any knowledge of the new passages and secret doors. You can rely on us to be discreet. While finishing up the work, we noticed that the flooring is sagging a little in the back right corner of the billiard room. You may want to think about having the floor joists in that area checked out to see if any have rotted. That is something that we can do for you and replace any as needed for a very reasonable price. It has been a real pleasure working on your old Georgian-style home, Mr. Trevisani. It's a real beautiful house, R. Jameson. So they added the secret passages and whatnot. And he had them killed so they wouldn't talk about it. From M to L. Trevisani, the job's done, boss. They won't be squealing to the fuzz or anyone. We checked their office and there is no record of them doing any work for you. Turns out the old man was a widower, and the sons were not hitched, so there was no family for us to silence. M. Well, that's just sad. Personal logs, 9/2/77. It's always been my policy not to use tapes or terminals. It's fine for them other Goombas, but I don't need to record every stray fart that comes out of my head. But that all changed when I met Candy, my very own mistress of mystery. She says I got way too much genius not to write my ideas down. I know she ain't the sharpest tool in the shed, but it ain't like she's wrong either. I built this entire organization from the ground up. Using the Silver Shroud as a cover for our operations, that was my idea. Protection, smuggling, chems, whatever you need. All you gotta do is speak to the Shroud. I got my fingers dipped in every pocket in town, and the mayor and the city council don't have a clue. They think I collect comic books. Fact is, Candy's right. I am a freaking genius. Maybe putting down a thought or two ain't such a bad idea. 9/26. I've been peed off for about 2 weeks straight dealing with this effing carpenter BS. The boys think it might be a rat. Well, if we got a rat in our midst, then I want that buck-toothed cheese-eating snitch skinned alive. I want this rat beaten so effing hard that every effing rat in this city rethinks their occupation. I want rats on so many ventilators the effing hospitals run out of electricity. I want the homeless Fs eating out of mouse traps complaining about a gosh darn rat shortage. I want so many dead effing rats. They do a gosh darn save the rats telethon because they're now an endangered effing species. We get it. I want the effing governor to call a state of effing emergency because Louis effing Trevisani killed every stinking rat-faced F whoever lived. Crap, I gotta calm down. Candy says the stress ain't good for me. She's right about this whole holotape thing, though. Letting it out helps. 10/17. I'm gonna ask Candy to marry me. I've got the ring picked out. Silver, just like the Shroud. She might not get it. Bless her dumb little heart. But when I tell her what it means, she'll flip. I know this ain't the best time with all the heat, but I don't give a crap. I can invite the chief of effing police. No, the whole gosh darn police department to the wedding if I wanted to, because at the end of the day, I run this city. 10/18. I floated the idea of getting married to Candy, but the dame wasn't having it. She says she knows the whole Silver Shroud business is BS, so if I want to prove my love to her, I've got to stop keeping secrets and let her in on what I'm really up to. The boys might not like it, but she's right. I'm thinking of bringing her down to the vault and telling her everything before taking a knee. We don't even need a priest or a judge. They both work for me. Why the heck do I need them? All I need is for her to say yes, and she's gonna say yes, at least when I'm done explaining it to her. I'm gonna romance this dame so hard we'll be consummating the marriage halfway through the vows. I told Tony, don't even bother opening the vault up for a week. I don't want to hear nothing about no gosh darn carpenters while me and my girl are on our honeymoon. Find the wedding ring. Looks like it's downstairs. Pretty sure it was right next to that holotape. Where'd she go? Is she still alive? Silver wedding ring. Alright. With that, we've completed Shrouded Manor, and I need to go help County Crossing. If you liked the video, leave a like and consider subscribing. I would appreciate it.